And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another day, the final day and the final qualifier of the Esports World Cup EWC 2025 Closed Qualifier. Of course, your host Live VIP. With me, I'm joined by these amazing players, by the people in chat, and by my plushies as well. Welcome, one and all, to our third, I guess technically fourth broadcast today, depending on how you're counting. We just wrapped up with the Korean qualifier. We just wrapped up. That was wrapped up what, a couple of minutes ago. We did raid the mainstream for the final series just so I could have a shower and just so I could get some water and just so I could refresh, hydrate my hydras, drain my disruptors, and massage all of my marines, and then jump in refreshed for the final qualifier. We wrapped up Korea, we wrapped up Asia, we wrapped up the Americas. Now we are here with Europa. Let's go. And up first we have our ZvP, Lambo, and SKillous. Here we go. Exclamation mark B! Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the back yourselves. Let us go. Let us catch up on what has been going on what is ahead of us. Here we go. As of course vetoes are underway and we are constructing our lobby, but bam, here we go. We have our top or upper echelons here of European players. We have Cyril and Rainer. They're going to be facing off soon TM in their qualifying match in the best of 7. But before we get to Cyril and Rainer, and again, we already covered half of this event. Day 1 was yesterday, and we did cover half of the brackets. We were live as well alongside the mainstream, so VODs are available over on YouTube, VODs are available on Twitch. Check out the VODs as we did cast a lot of amazing matches, a lot of amazing games. Scrolling down though, we are focusing our attention here. Lower bracket. We have Lambo versus SKillous and Gabe versus a Laser. The mainstream have Gabe and a Laser. We have Lambo and SKillous, and these are best of 5s, purely best of 5s. And you can hear the beeps. We're jumping into game number 1. Let's go. Game 1 is going to be on Persephone. Whew, oh boy. We made it to the final qualifier. Let's go. Let's go. We made it. Crazy. Insane. And we are jumping on in and spawning in the top left-hand corner here of Persephone. We have our red Protoss player. We have our Team Liquid player. It is SKillous. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the blue Zerg player from the land of Germany, representing Shopify Rebellion. It is Lambo. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into our best of 5, as we jump into our ZvP. Here we go. Sorry, just setting things up, make sure that everything is as it should be. Initially, we do have our initial hatch gas pool. Looks like a standard opener initially here from Lambo. We'll keep an eye on the gases. We'll keep an eye on our Zerg. Likewise, standard opener out of our Protoss player as well. Nothing too crazy, nothing too fancy, not yet. And welcome to Persephone. Persephone, of course, being one. Oh, hello. Never mind. My apologies. My apologies here as we do see Lambo moving out with his initial drone. Does come in with a hatch block. Now, this is not a cheese. This is not aggressive. This is designed to delay the economy. This is designed to disrupt the build of SKillous. This is not meant to finish either. We should be canceling this beforehand, but the goal here is to disrupt, is almost the equivalent of the Protoss player pylon blocking the natural as well. So this is going to be hatch into gas into spawning pool. And again, Lambo just trying to make life for the game just as uncomfortable as possible for SKillous. Let's go. Dear Bina, please don't block our community casters on this qualifier. Thank you, Praise. True. I did. I mean, we were handling ourselves well for the Korean qualifier, but towards the end, for the Byun versus Ryung match, we were disconnecting from Korea, which was unfortunate. It was very sad. Just couldn't quite stay connected to the Korean server. Yeah, smudge. But outside of that, you know, the cast was solid. The games were good. There was a lot of hype. Like, I'm really happy with our broadcast overall. But outside of that, Stargate opener here in the main base. Zelt is forced to be chronoed out as we speak. We have 2 Zelts and a Zept on the way, and SKillous, he will force a cancel. As we mentioned, again, there was never a time where this base would finish. This is only designed to delay. Lambo is droning, Lambo is saturating, Lambo does get a 3rd expansion. The one downside of this start here is that Lambo's link speed is going to be delayed. Link speed is going to be later than usual. And as a result, it tells me that there's going to be a timing where SKillous can pop off. Here we go. Now, again, this is the downside. The hatchery forces out zealots, which means right now we have more zealots than we otherwise would in a standard game, so now we have to make use of them. 2 zealots, 1 adept, and another adept are on the way. They're going to be rallying across the map to get some damage done, to force out Zerglings and to potentially get some drone kills. As SKillous does scout the 3rd base, he is aware. He's aware, does rotate over. Likewise, Queens are going to be whirling in. They're trying to engage, but last SKillous, instead of going for economic damage, we're actually going for the hatchery. Hatchery down to half HP, not bad. Hatchery down to half HP. We have plenty of links to work with. We have how many? We have 12 links in total. Link speed is still on the way. And SKillous doesn't commit. He backs off. He pulls away. Does retreat for the moment. Oracle's on route. Does catch the tumor. From here, does poke in. Again, the base is taking a lot of hits. No shot we get it. No shot. Like, the base should not go down. Especially with link speed finishing up. And yeah, Skillsy backs off. Skillsy backs off. He understands that he is running out of time. As link speed has completed. And SKillous back home into a second Oracle, into another gateway. Into an expand. From here, we should be working towards our economic follow-up. Head up, say, Threaten the Shade. To Threaten the Shade. Likewise, catching out a tumor. So far, Lambo is keeping up. He's holding on. Again, he saved the expansion. The base is still low, and that could come into play when it comes to the mid-game. There's definitely a chance that Skillous, he might even go into like an immortal base push or even early blink just to apply pressure, just to break the expansion. It is possible. You know, Lambo being active. Does fan out. Does fan out. SKillous reinforcing with even more adepts. It's going to be how many? It's going to be 5 adepts in total. 5 adepts, 2 zealots, and 2 oracles. He wants the queens. Yeah, it does cancel. He wants those queens. Lings, they should be engaging. Oracles are here to support to zone away the lings. Yeah, there's the activation of the Pulsar Beam. Nice control. Does pull away the weakened oracle. Yeah, it does pull away. And with that, can we get the queen? In the end, looks like the queen will fall. Another oracle coming in, and SKillous is overwhelming. He's overwhelming the army. Oh, the oracles barely back up. They barely pull away. And can he get another queen? Oh no! Bit of miscontrol. Yeah, bit of miscontrol here. And 2 oracles go down. That should not have happened. SKillous, 2 oracles. They should have lived. There should be 3 here, but now we're down to 1. SKillous getting a little bit too greedy and misjudging the situation. And with that, SKillous will lose 2 oracles, and Lambo takes a lead. Lambo does take a lead. It does get a surround. It does get a surround. Adepts are going to be locked down. Losing 1, losing 2. And everything's just going south. Everything's just going south here for SKillous. Everything falling apart. All these little wins, they add up. But behind this, Lambo going for the lair at the 3rd just to make sure that it's fortified to increase its HP. I mean, again, it's weakened. Soon to be no longer. Behind this, Lambo's been droning, saturating. We have the safety roach one, Eva chambers on the way as well. The timings are a little bit off just because of the opener, just because of the hatchery block. But we're getting there. Stasis is denied. Catching out 1 drone. And SKillous, he has to fall back, he has to recoup, he has to lick his wounds. And again, I would say the SKillous is in a rough position. I should re-emphasize as well the importance of the Oracle. Like, the Oracles in ZvP, they provide scouting, they provide map control, they provide safety and defense against Ling Rambais and counterattacks. They provide safety and defense against Ling surrounds with your main army as well. Like, Oracles are so valuable here in this matchup. So to lose 2 already, like, that is huge. I don't want to gloss over that. And you see Lambo taking up. Hygiene is done, Infestation Bit's on the way. So I was thinking that maybe Lambo would just double down and be hyper aggressive and commit, but the answer is no. The answer is he's taking up towards what looks to be Lurker tech. Infestation Bit is going to be for the Hive, and with the Hydrogen we have access to Lurkers. So Lambo, he's just taking up. Like, he's not going for an all-in, he's just playing out a longer and later game. SKillous does break in. Dips in between the bases. Lambo ready for the run by. He's got links towards the left, he's got links towards the right. SKillous rushing into Storm as the follow-up. Not Colossus. But again, for the most part, Lambo, he's already at 85. He's at 85 drones. And normally this would not be happening. But hey, like, he was free to just drone up freely here. And the supply is that, I mean, there's already a disparity. That disparity is going to get larger soon. Hive is now on the way. Upgrades as well. Lambo, he will max out momentarily and take advantage of that greater economy. He's up to 89 drones. Ay. I like this, but we don't like this. Also, I assumed lurkers, but there's no lurker den yet. We can afford it. Lambo has plenty of gas. For now, just doubling down on Ling Hydra. Can go Ling Hydra into Viper Tech. Lambo now 170 supply, and he's building back up. Building up even further. SKillous, he's trying to turtle. The goal here for SKillous at this point, because SKillous has lost map control, cannons are on the way, shield batteries are on the way, Storm, and Sky Toss. Fleet Beacon, Stargate. Right now, the only way, or one of the only ways for SKillous to recover this game is to just turtle up, be hyper defensive, and survive until Sky Toss. Meanwhile, there's that lurker den. Hive on Sun. Storm here on the Lings. Decent Storm. Storm mainly zoning back the Hydras. At the same time, push towards the left-hand side as well. Lambo collapsing in, catching out the Stalkers. Stalker is going to fall. At least they can flood into the bases. They can, and they will. Ooh, brutal Storm on the Hydras, though. The Storms have been solid. Storms are good, but is it enough? Because we still have so much more behind this. More Lings, more Hydras rushing across the map. The Zealots do help clean up, but where are the Storms here on the left-hand side? Alas, there's no Storm on the left-hand flank. And this base is going to fall. Yeah, the mineral line out guard, all the probes do crumble as well. SKillous just torn apart, and there's just a supply issue. Like, the problem is that SKillous just doesn't have the numbers to defend both locations. Just doesn't have the supply, because he doesn't have the economy, because Lambo snowballed out of control. It's going to be boomed out of control even. And with that, here come the Lunkers. And again, Lambo's, he's maxed. Lambo's maxed out. He has double the army supply. The Lunkers are coming, and right now there is no answer. The Tempest will help, but there's just no support for the Tempest. And you can see just how momentum-based this, or I mean, StarCraft can be in general. Or early game damage, really. As one thing goes wrong early on, I mean, that can spell end for you. So here we go, the Lunkers are moving in, they're getting inside the base. Third base under fire, at the same time Hydras are pushing in towards the fourth. We do have some Storms on some of these Hydras, and the Tempest, they can hold their own. But GG gets called, the writing is on the wall, and Lambo, he will take game number 1. Whew. GG. Lambo, he does take a lead in the series. Again, just a really rough start for SKillous, losing those Oracles, losing map control, losing the Adepts, losing everything early on, and it allowed for Lambo to drone up as heavily as he did, to drone up hard. From the side of SKillous, he could do one of two things. If you remember, what he decided to do was to be hyper defensive, to turtle up, and to try to get into Sky Toss. The other option would have been to cut his losses early and to commit into an all-in, like a 2-base all-in, or maybe like a 2.5-base all-in. But the problem was he wasn't really set up for it. He wasn't really set up for that kind of play. And with that, GG, well played. With that, Lambo does take lead in the series. Now, as a reminder, this is a best of 5, and I should also emphasize that what the events that occurred in Game 1 were not standard. If you recall, like, it all came down to the opener. What happened was, remember, Lambo, he went for the proxy hatchery, went for the proxy hatch block at the expansion that forced out Zealot Adept, and it kind of caused a chain of events where SKillous, he was hyper aggressive with that Zealot Adept, and there was potential with it. Like, we could see, like, he was so close to killing those queens early on. If he kills the queens, he kills the Lings. If he kills the Lings, he denies mining at the third base, and maybe he does more damage from there. But it all fell on its face. It all fell apart when he overextended and lost all the Oracles. That was a pivotal moment in that game, and it all just kind of, fell apart from there. But now we're getting into our next game. We're now getting into game number 2, loading into Pylon. Gonna be loading into Pylon here. And we'll see if SKillous can recover. We'll see if Lambo can extend his lead. Let's go. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Pylon, we have the German Zerg player. We have the Blue Zerg representing Shopify Rebellion. Leading the series 1-0, it is Lambo. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Red Protoss player representing Team Liquid. down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back and make a series out of this. It is SKillous. Here we go. As SKillous does move out, does hit the natural. This time it's going to be SKillous denying the expansion of Lambo. Lambo, the drone, ooh, hello, moves out across the map. It's like, you know what? You can take my base. You can I didn't even want it. You know what? I'll take yours instead. So the drone moves out for another hatch block across the map. Back at home at Lambo droning up to 17. Droning up to 18 even. Oh, he does hide the drone. Yeah, he hides the drone, moves down, and he will expand. Okay, basically what was going to happen here, if the probe stayed on the low ground, then Lambo would not have been able to expand, and he would have committed across the map into the hatch block. Now, because the probe moved out of position, now Lambo expands, and now the drone is only here to be annoying. Only here to be annoying. Not here to block. So we had an interesting turn of events. So Lambo again being quite flexible with his play. And with that, both players are able to expand at their actual natural locations. And now we can take a moment to embrace the map. Welcome one and all to Pylon. Pylon, of course, being one of the smaller maps in the map pool, known for aggression. The rush distance by ground is short. The attack path as well is also very, very direct. So we often see a lot more aggressive builds. I would not be surprised if Lambo goes for something like a German taxi, a Lin Queen Nidus all in, again, Lin Queen walk across the map. There are a lot of aggressive builds that have been quite trendy on this map. We'll see if Lambo goes for one of them, or if he plays safe and standard, right? Like, does Lambo need to mix things up and be hyper aggressive now that he's up 1-0? Doesn't need to, but the map does favor that kind of play. So Lambo's got a choice to make. He has to kind of make a decision, and we'll see where he takes us. On side of SKillous, we expect standard play. Gate expand, or gate expanded to Cybercore. From here, working towards the eventual Stargate. There it is, Stargate's on the way. We are building up. With this Stargate, it should be Oracle. We should be going into a single Oracle, then into a second Oracle, into a third base expansion, and potentially into a third Oracle as well. The third Oracle is optional, depending on how tech-heavy SKillous wants to be. Adept does shade into the main. Not bad. Denies mining. And can we kill a drone? Oh, it does not. Whew. Nice save there from Lambo. Very clutch moves. Does save all of his workers. Does save all of his drones. SKillous, meanwhile, does pull away. From here, we're calming down. Calming things down. Does pull back home. Oracle's in production. Overlord is zoned away. Oh, we actually... Oh, I see. We did follow this up with a Stalker, so no additional Adept aggression because of that. Instead, SKillous being more defensive initially. Much more defensive. You can see the Stalker ferry that probe. Overlord is hunted down. First Oracle has arrived, and there's that third base. So again, so far, just very economic and very standard play out of SKillous. Nothing crazy, nothing out of the norm. Lambo does get supply blocked for a moment, but merely for a moment. So from here he's droning. We do see Lambo go for a safety Roach Warren at around 418-ish, 417. So he does throw in the Roach Warren. I'm assuming safety. Lambo does make 10 Lings, just to be safe as well. Meanwhile, SKillous going for his Twilight Council with the Forge. Standard follow-up. This does look like +1 and Blink, +1 Blink Stalkers. And towards a much more standard mid-game. Meanwhile, the Spores are not done. Oracles, they bust into the third. Not bad. Getting 1, 2, 3 drone kills this time. Oh, the Spore finishes up just in time. And does snipe the Oracle. Ay. Again, that should not have happened. The first Oracle goes down. 3 drone kills is good, but this is a better trade for Lambo, as that is not worth an Oracle. I should say the Oracle is not worth 3 drones, or so much more than that. Now down to 2 Oracles. At least it's 2, not 1. SKillous, he will delay the 4th. Doesn't shade. Oracles, they back in. They get a couple more workers. They get one more drone. 4 in total. But Pappy, we got to look after our oracles, Pappy. Look after them. SKillous pulls away. SKillous does pull back. Now, as we settle into SKillous, he now has a much stronger economy than last game. He's already on 3 base saturation. From here, he can take a 4th, and now he can be active. Blink is on the way. Now, here comes the main push. Again, we didn't see any of this last game because of how disrupted and how chaotic the other game was and how poorly it went for SKillous. Here, he still has more control, and he moves out. He's looking to deny the 4th. As he moves out, Lings are moving in. Back at home. Ooh, shield batteries or pylons are getting called out. As that recall back home does deny the expansion. Was that a kill? Yeah, cancel. Was a cancel. SKillous racing on back. Does defend. So he attacks, he defends. So far, so good. Meanwhile, we are rushing into a hive. Lambo. But this is a much, much faster hive here. Rushing into Infestation Bits, Lurker Den, and hive as well at the 7-minute mark. Very greedy. SKillous he scouts and he confirms the Hydras and the the hive timing as well. And there is a window. There's a window in time that SKillous can strike, and now he knows that there is one. Now with that scout, with that revelation, yep, he pushes. He knows that now it's time to push, to strike before lurkers come online. Now the reason why Lambo is vulnerable here and now is because he just spent money on Infestation Bit, on a Lurker Den, and on a Hive. All things not Ling Bane, or not Ling Hydra I should say. So right now the army from Lambo is lacking. At least, again, for a couple of seconds, as he is now building up. Lings are coming for a surround. The 4th base is under fire. High Templar, they're going to be protected. Lings, they do catch reinforcements, not bad. Catching out some Zealots, storming the Hydras. And this base should go down. The base should fall. There's what, 2 more storms left. Expansion goes down, nice storm on the Hydras, does pull away, here comes the surround. And Lings, they don't quite get on top of the High Templar. No, they do. Yeah, they do towards the end. A nice catch. And SKillous has to get the hell out of here. That surround was brutal. Nice setup there from Lambo. SKillous pulls away. And he did deny top right and center left. He denied both 4th bases, which is good, but the hive is done. And now Lambo can embrace Lurker Tech. His economy is lackluster, but he can get into his Lurkers. Speaking of, here come the Hydras, and here comes the push. Again, very decisive move here from Lambo, but the Lurker's not ready. Lurker's not ready yet. SKillous, he does have Storm. Lurker's just now morphing in. I believe they... Oh, never mind. Lurkers are still not ready. They were denied. There we go, we have 2 Lurkers on the way. SKillous did deflect. And throughout all this, SKillous, he himself is switching into Sky Toss. The reason for this, because he knows he cannot kill Lambo. He did cripple the bases, he did cripple the economy, but he knows he cannot kill him, so he does need Tempest. Otherwise, he'll be outscared. You can go up against Lurkers, especially if you have a robust, like, Immortal-based composition, but we're not really there. Like, based on the game state, like, we haven't really taken that direction. So Tempests are a must. Nice revelation. Nice reveal. Celeron does get across the map. Getting into the middle line. We have more Zealots here coming in from the right-hand side as well. Lambo racing back home. He'll bleed out some Hydras. He'll bleed out a Lurker as well. Nice target firing. And again, this is all buying time. You know, Lambo is forced back home, which means SKillous, what's he building up? Tempests. Tempests are coming one at a time. Soon to be 2. And SKillous, he has no chill. Zealots are caught out on the right-hand side, but SKillous is pushing out on the left. Storm mainly zones, no major connection. But the Lurker's a little bit too far back. Storm in the mineral line. We can see Lambo getting ready for an attempted counterattack. SKillous is aware. Oh, does spot it. Does get the revelation. Does want to get surrounded. SKillous is maintaining map control. More Tempest are building up. SKillous, again, he doesn't want to get caught out in the open. Does reposition. Ooh. So I believe that was the Oracle. Zealots. The Lurkers are on the high ground. Tempest, they will potentially... they don't quite get a Lurker. Zealot might get dealt with. SKillous pulling away, and Lambo's maxed. Lambo's maxed out. Now, bearing in mind that, yes, he is maxed out, but SKillous still has the more efficient army. SKillous, he has the Skytools, he has the Storm, he has the Archons. There is still a window here where Lambo can try to break SKillous before he maxes out the High Templar. No! The Templar, they caught out. Massive Eagles, he gets one. He gets one. Templar forces out the Storms. A very nice catch. Lambo is popping off. Going for a split push. We have Lurkers on one side. On one side, we have a handful of Lurkers on the right. On the other. Very nice Storm. Very nice Storm on those Hydras. Storm does connect. SKillous rotating over towards left-hand side. Going into triple robo. Now, if you recall, we did mention how another alternate way to deal with something like Lurker tech is to go into Massive Mortal, and we weren't quite set up to really get there early on. But now that the Tempest count is high enough, we're going in that direction to go into Immortals, potentially even some Colossus Sword Disruptors, but mainly Immortals should be on the way. Immortals, they do a great job tanking. They can tank spine shots, and they can focus and target down the Lurkers. So you can see SKillous just perfecting his army. He's getting there. Lambo, his split push gets spotted. Oh, SKillous out of position. Main army moving in. Nice Storm of the Lings. And how do we respond here? Okay, the ground army races back home. The Tempest, they push forward. They get one Lurker. They get one, and they get the fifth. Yeah, the fifth base is going to go down. Oh, Hydra's pushing right down the center. Do we recall? Yeah, we do recall back home. There's that recall. The Lurker's about to get surrounded. Where's detection, though? Uh-oh. There it is. There's that Revelation. Surrounds the Lurkers. A massive loss there for Lambo. At the same time, pushing in towards left-hand side, getting into the mineral line. Hydra's in the main. They're going to be cleaned up. Else they have more than enough to deal with this. And Lambo, he's losing far too quickly. Because he's losing almost every single Lurker. But where's the Revelation? Where's the reveal? Oh no, the High Templar! Oh my god. Where is it? Where? There we go. Jesus. High Templar to survive, that's still going to be 19 probes. Yeah, this should not have gotten this much damage. 19 workers going down. Ay, that is insane. At the same time, SKillous doesn't care, he's pushing. He's just moving up, he's running into more Lurkers. And again, we need those Revelations. Reveals one Lurker. Reveals the rest. Observers have arrived. Now we have Corruptor. Ooh, as I'll say, do hit the right-hand side. Onto the Oracles! Oh, brutal pickoffs. We spoke about these Oracles. I mean, they're invaluable here when it comes to Revelations. Oracles go down. They were not with the main army. They're not in the same control group. SKillous pulling back. It's been very, very tense here. Lambo did throw away a lot of Lurkers, but now he's got a decent Corruptor count. He's got 16 Corruptors. That is going to be good enough. He's got 8 Lurkers. Now, what is Lambo missing? Spellcasters. Whether it's Infestors, whether it's Vipers. Speaking of, there it is. One Viper is on the way. So again, Lambo, he's aware that he is missing that more diversity in his army. Or complexity, that's it. More complexity to abduct, to blinding cloud. But the Vipers, they need time to gather energy. And SKillous, he's pushing right down mid. Once again, though, does he have detection? He does. Yeah, observers are available. They move in on the left-hand side. Storms on the Hydras. Observers, they can be targeted down, but it's too little too late. Lurkers, they do full. Meanwhile, we dive on the Archons. The Archons, they have their way with those Corruptors. And SKillous, he's doing it. He's pushing through. GG gets called. SKillous, he snowballs out of control, and SKillous ties up the series 1-1. Whew, GG. GG, well played. SKillous does tie the series up, and now we have a back and forth. Again, I should say Lambo, he was a little bit too careless when it came to his lurker counterattacks. He lost so many lurkers pushing in between the bases, pushing left-hand side, and you could argue, oh, lurkers, but do they matter against SkyToss? The answer is yes. Lurkers, they have their role when it comes to that composition to zone away the ground army. Corruptors are good against SkyToss, but you need those lurkers to zone away the Archons and zone away the High Templar and zone away the supportive ground-based army of the Protoss. It doesn't just have to be lurkers. Later on in the game, you can go into Broodlord, which has the same role, right? Broodlord, lurker, the same goal, the same role when it comes to zoning back that ground force. But losing so many lurkers so quickly does mean that Lambo was vulnerable. That's why SKillous was so aggressive, because he knew that the lurker count was low. On top of that, remember, the spellcasters were late as well. The Viper popped at the end, but the Viper had no energy because it was fresh. So there was no blinding clouds, for example. There was no parasitic bombs, no abductions. Lambo, he wasn't quite there yet. And the Protoss knew it. SKillous did know. And here we go, spawning in the bottom hand corner of Ley Lines. We have the German Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg representing Shopify Rebellion being forced into a tied series. We'll see if we can bring it back. It is Lambo. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Protoss player, the red Protoss himself, representing Team Liquid, tying up the series 1-1 and making a series out of this. It is SKillous. We go. We go. And again, Lambo just bleeding out a little bit too much too quickly. SKillous capitalizing on those missteps as well. If Lambo was given more time, then he could have recovered and could have held and then gotten, more out of it. Here we go. As Lambo force take the unnatural, force to expand at the third location. So a hatch gas pool. A bit of a more uncomfortable setup for Lambo. Meanwhile, SKillous going gate expand. Gate expand into Cybercore. So far, so good. Everything looking normal. Outside of course, the base location. Here we go. See some people asking in chat, who do you think will win the series? I mean, I would not be surprised if this goes to the ace match. Like, this could go either way. Like, SKillous could win, Lambo could win. In my mind, these two are pretty evenly matched and pretty similarly skilled. When you think of the hierarchy of, like, European players, like, I do think that they're very close. A lot of it will come down to who is better prepared. Like, they have had time to prepare for each other. They've had 24 hours to prepare, and likewise, who currently is more in form on the day as well, right? Like, a lot of it comes down to, like, did the players get enough sleep? What is sleep? What is it? I don't know. I've heard about it, though, and hopefully they got it. But who's, like, well rested, who was well hydrated, right? Like, there are these, like, little minuscule things that do, like, affect your, like, mental state and affects, like, your endurance or just, like, your current form, of course. If you remember, Tilo was all about that. I think Cyril nowadays as well. But it comes down to who is more informed on the day. Let's go. So now we do have our initial Stargate open into Oracle. Once again, standard open out skills. We don't really expect too much deviation from our Protoss player. Just Stargate opener into a third base into +1 Blink Stalker is what we expect. If you recall, last game was Lambo who was rushing into lurkers, which is crazy. And it wasn't quite able to pull it off. Again, SKillous, he was quick to punish, if you recall. When I say punish, if you remember, Lambo, he was rushing into lurkers, and once SKillous realized, he denied the fourth. He denied the fourth base, and then he rushed into SkyToss, knowing he could. So we go. So now setting up. Likewise, Lambo just droning up back at home and massing up his queens and getting ready for the Oracle defense. What I will say quickly is that SKillous, his Oracle control has been a little bit lackluster this series. Game 1 and Game 2, we have seen SKillous overextend with his Oracles and bleed them out. So I'm hoping that we can get a handle on them and tighten up that Oracle control here coming into Game 3. Otherwise, Lambo will punish you. He will punish. As we do get 3 drone kills. 3 drones go down. Likewise, building up to 3 oracles. For the first time in a long time, we actually have all 3 oracles alive. Let's go. Behind this bit of a gateway explosion, we have +1 blink, as we did mention, standard follow-up, everything looking as it should. Meanwhile, SKillous going for the denial on the 4th base, but he shouldn't be able to. The queens are in position. It will zone away. The hatchery is low, and that could factor in. These oracles, are going to be zoned away. And SKillous, he should be able to escape. Meanwhile, we do see Lambo going into +1 range. No lurker, sorry, no Roachhorn. No Roachhorn +1 range. This could be a Hydra based all-in, as all 6 gases are being taken. Yep, there it is. Hydra's on the way. We're skipping Roaches, going straight Ling Hydra into a very heavy Hydra count. Now, this could be one of 2 things. Solar is very fond of going for a 3-base Hydra all-in, where you cut workers at 66, and you just commit with mass Hydra. Or this could be something different. Fast +1 into a +2 timing with what? With lurkers. Once again, rushing into Infestation Pit. 6-minute Infestation Pit out of Lambo. Before the Hydra is even done, by the way. So we are rushing into lurkers, and we are going to be rushing into those lurker upgrades as well. Into +1 and then into +2. Okay. So once again, we see a form of greed. This isn't the same build as last game. Last game, it took a little bit longer. It took an extra minute to get into Hive Tech. Here, we're just cutting corners. We're cutting so many corners here. And if SKillous realized what was happening, it would be on him to punish, to push out, and to break the 4th base. But SKillous doesn't know. Right now, he's still waiting for his upgrades. Blink, Storm, it's all still on the way. But SKillous, he needs to scout and realize what's happening. Pokes in, does spot the Hydra. Ooh, 1 Oracle goes down. I spoke about it. We're so far, at least 1 Oracle has gone down in the other game. And there's the Hive. The Hive has begun. There's a Lurker Den as well. Again, 7-minute Lurker Den. Just really fast tech here. And SKillous, just like last game, he has to hit with Storm. Does have to hit the 4th. Oh, misread. Throwing down cannons and shield batteries. I mentioned earlier that there is a Ling Hydra all-in variation that you can go for, and based on this kind of setup, it looks like SKillous is a little bit afraid of that. So SKillous, he's turtling, which means Lambo will get away with this. It means that the Hive will finish, the Lurker Den will finish, and Lurkers will morph in. Lambo has nothing to worry about. He can drone up to 85, and he will. He's at 86 drones already. Lambo has been so greedy this game. So incredibly greedy. And on the one hand, SKillous, he's turtling up, which means he's going to be able to defend his 4 bases. That is true, but that wasn't the game state here. The game state will be, like, Lambo, this is what he wanted. Lambo, he wanted SKillous to be overly safe. Now SKillous, he's taking up in towards the Fleet Bean, in towards Skytoss. And now the game becomes, now the momentum changes, and now it's, can Lambo break SKillous before Skytoss? Like, now the roles have changed. Because we are going to hit that Lurker timing. There it is. Lurkers are morphing in. Need a little bit more gas. And again, Lambo, he will strike before Tempest. Even the queens are walking. Like, we're committed. Like, we're just prioritizing creeps right here on the right hand side. We're spreading creep, we're moving in queens. We're moving in with the lurkers as well. There's going to be transfuse. Again, it's all about this timing attack. Overlord's moving in to spread even more creep. And Lambo, he's looking to kill. Here and now. Here we go. Does push forward. Stasis Trap gets baited. Lurkers moving in. There's a Storm. Nice Storm here on the Hydras. They got caught by the lurkers. Lurkers still pushing forward. Ooh, that's a lot of storms here. Now on mainly lurkers though, the Ling Hydra is safe. I'll say it's some wasted storms. A better storm towards the end. Yeah, better storm, and again, SKillous, he has to hold. He has to survive here, has to hold the line. And buy time for the Tempest. Ooh, as the wall is falling. Another storm here on the Queens. Lings, they flood in. They try to flood in. Nice storm on the Hydras. Oh my god. The storm on the Hydras was brutal. But Lings, they bust into the base. They bust into the mineral line. And the ground army is zoned away. And Lambo is going for the kill. Going for the natural. Probes are going down. SKillous, he will lose everything here. And Lambo behind this taking. Spire's on the way. Spire's on the way. Lambo, he has done it. From here, he can flood into the main. The lurkers, they zone away the ground army. Oof. Force to push in. It does take down a couple of lurkers. Nice storm with the Zerglings. We did have a nice storm. And SKillous, he's holding, but I mean, this is where he just split out so much to survive, so much to defend. Lambo, he didn't kill SKillous, but he did well enough. Did well enough. From here, he can just back off. Remember, he has 80 drones, by the way. He has 80 workers. Economically, he's fine. Spire's almost done. He just has to wait for Corruptors. Or just wait for the army to overextend. And sure, on the one hand, there are Tempests, that is true, but behind it, the economy is lackluster. The ground supportive army is also lackluster as well. Like, Skytoss is okay, but Skytoss needs Storm, Archons, Immortals, Stalkers, needs that ground support. Lambo's maxed. Now, Lambo should be hitting again. He should be hitting again and then remaxing with Corruptor. That should be the plan. Otherwise, SKillous will stabilize. Like, if he's left alone. If he's left alone, he will stabilize. Lambo going for a split push. He's going to run into a wall of cannons. There's that recall. SKillous is holding. Okay. He is holding on at the same time. Lambo pushing on the right hand side. Oh no, High Templar! High Templar get caught out. Massive Eagle here as he will take down 5 High Templar. Ay, ay, ay. Talk about that ground support. It's not going to be there. Oh my god. Okay, there's still 3 left over. Once again, Lambo pushing into the natural. Does move in. Lings, they once again get into the mineral line. Hydras, they waddle into the main. And then we're just tearing SKillous apart. But how much damage can he deal? He's getting a couple workers. Can he break the base? There are storms. There are some storms. SKillous, can he hold? Can he defend? Oh god. Hydras, they lunge in, they get 2 more High Templar, there's 3 High Templar left. Meanwhile, SKillous, he defends the main. We'll lose another 19 probes. Archons, they built a tank, and it looks like SKillous, he will save the 4th. He'll save the 4th base, but he will lose an expansion and 21 workers. As lurkers, they waddle back in. Here comes that remax on Corruptors. Oh. Pulls away. Force activate Cloak. 29 probe kills, by the way. 29 workers. Now, the main army here of SKillous is still terrifying. It's still something to be respected. Basically, SKillous, he might soon be forced all in. Where SKillous, he has no economy, he has no bases, and he just sends it across the map. And he can still win the game. 100%. He can still win the game with this. But it's going to be one and done. Yeah, he's all in. He's all in. Like, the bases are falling. Natural goes down once again. It's all or nothing for SKillous. He has to end the game with this army, with this push. It's a lot of Hydras. Not many lurkers, though. Only 4 lurkers. Uh-oh. With a low lurker count, like these Hydras, they will melt to the storms. They are not built for this. SKillous, he can pull this off. Lings are coming first round. We don't want to waste their storms. We don't want to waste them. 2 lurkers on the way. And looks like, oh, they will not finish. Lurkers going down. Lambo trying to stop the surround coming in from behind. High Templar exposed. But here come the storms. Storms on the Hydras. What about on the right-hand side, though? Where are the storms? Yeah, the storms are lacking. But it still might be enough from SKillous. Yeah, he still has enough here. The Immortals are pushing through. The Tempest is still so low, though. The Hydras are lunging in. There's 6 Hydras left. They're going down. Oh, my God. And SKillous, has he done it? No, 22. Look at the production tab. 22 more Hydras on the way. Again, SKillous, he wins the fight, but reinforcements are coming in. Reinforcements, they are amassing. He needs another storm. And he doesn't, he cannot waste it. Here we go. Hydra's coming in from behind. Immortal goes down. Immortal does go down. Where's that storm? He has 1 storm currently. Oof, it does go down. Yeah, no storm. Storm is denied. Whew, very close. Very close. Very clutch. But the reinforcing Hydras aren't going to be enough here to take down the Skytos, take down the High Templar, and clean up the Zealots. Whew. Like, imagine SKillous if he had an economy. Like, imagine that push if he could reinforce consistently. That could have been game. That could have been game then and there. If he could actually warp in and could actually sustain himself. That was close. But Lambo holds. Lambo, he holds. He's on 74 workers. Now he can rebuild, remax, make lurkers. Like, Lambo's fine. Lambo, he's looking very comfortable. The only chance here that SKillous would have is if Lambo makes some mistakes. If he attacks like a portion of the army at a time. Goes down. Prism goes down. We have Lambo pushing in towards the left-hand side. And yeah, it's going to be a tough road to recovery here for SKillous. He just doesn't have the army to work with. He's trying to move forward. And yeah, GG gets called again. The writing was on the wall ever since the failed push. And Lambo, whew, he will take a lead in the series at 2-1. GG. Whew, GG, well played. With that Lambo, he will take the lead. And again, that was an impressive push there from SKillous to move out, to commit there. I mean, he was forced all in, and he was able to, for the most part, trade well for himself. But as we saw, some of the storms were a little bit lackluster. The positioning was awkward because he got surrounded. And even though he was able to win the fight, he wasn't able to win the war, as Lambo had an economy, so he could just rebuild. He could just rebuild, he could just sustain himself, he could keep on going. It was SKillous that could not, as he lost base after base back across the map, could not sustain himself. GG. GG, well played. And here we go. We are now getting into our next game, into game number 4. Here we go. Chat talking about lurkers. Yes. If you recall, we did mention that, how I think Lambo, he only had 2 lurkers, right? And he was morphing in another extra pair of lurkers, like, as the all-in was already coming his way. Unfortunately, he wasn't. It seemed like Lambo, he wasn't really expecting the counterattack to hit that hard. So yes, he was underprepared for it. That also did help SKillous, just because Lambo was so Hydra heavy, and we brought it up at the time that because he was so Hydra heavy, SKillous, he could break through with those storms, and he did. Like, again, SKillous, he made it close towards the end. But GG, well played. With that, we're now getting into our next game. Here we go. Alright, I did say someone earlier mentioning that it was like a build order win. I kind of, like, in the sense that that unfortunately SKillous, he failed to scout. He failed to get into the main and confirm the hive and confirm the lurker. As we pointed out during the cast itself, Lambo, he was going for a 7-minute Hive and 7-minute Lurker Den. Like, he was so greedy with his tech, and he joined up so fast up until 86. And if you remember, Lambo did something similar in game 2, and SKillous did punish it. Remember, SKillous, he was able to punish it and deny the 4th bases, and he was very much so in the face of Lambo. Here on Ley Lines, SKillous didn't know what was happening, he didn't scout, didn't confirm, and as a result, he took a more defensive approach, and as a result, that allowed Lambo to get away with his greed. But here we go, we're now getting into our next game, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ultra Love, we have the German Zerg player. We have the Blue Zerg representing Shellfire Rebellion, leading the series 2-1. It is Lambo. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the Red Protoss player, the Red Protoss himself, representing Team Liquid down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back, we'll see if he can recover and force the ace match. Personally, that's what I want. Regardless of how this goes, I'm greedy. I want the ace match, but the pressure is on. It is SKillous. Here we go. As we are setting up, so far, we do have our initial opener. There's no unnatural natural. We do have our hash gas pool standard opener out of Lambo. Likewise, SKillous across the map going for his own gate expand. Go. So now setting up. Yo, so we're being let known in the chats. Your last fantasy between Gabe and a laser? Let's go. We were robbed of last fantasy between Byun and Ryung earlier, but it's good to hear that it was used in that series. Good to hear. And we'll see if Lambo is anywhere near as greedy. Now, I would hope not. Winding it back here, welcome to Ultra Love. Welcome on all to Ultra Love. Ultra Love is one of the smaller maps in the map pool. We have seen a lot of aggression here on this map as a result, just because the rushes to spike round is shorter. So I would say that if Lambo were to once again try to rush into an early Hive and rush into an early Lurker Den, that SKillous would be able to punish. I am not too fond of the idea of Lambo doing the same build 3 games in a row. I'm not too fond of that idea, but we'll see. We'll see. It's going to be up to Lambo to see if he does once again try to cut corners and be greedy. Yeah, but it does feel difficult to pull off on a smaller map like this. As he does threaten the shade. Meanwhile, Stargate open out of SKillous. Again, standard play so far. Stargate open into the Oracle. Into the Oracle. SKillous does move in. He will threaten the shade. Bearing in mind, 2 adepts taking 1-shot drones. Cancels the shade. He gets 1. He gets 2. Oh, never mind. Spoke too soon. Gets 1. Gets 1 so far. Does shade away. And with that, we get a nice surround here. What Adept does fall. And SKillous has to race back home. Link speed finishing up in 1 second. And Lambo is on the chase. He wants that Adept. He wants him. Can he get him? And no shot. Will actually bring him down. Not bad. Adept does fall. Oh, my apologies. So barely shaded away. 5 HP. Let's go. Does shade away. Behind this, SKillous claiming his 3rd, but the Oracle has to stay at home. Typically, the Adepts will be defending this location, but because both Adepts went down, because 1 Adept went down, does mean the Oracle has to be kept back at home a little bit longer to defend, to survive. Twilight Council follow-up here. That is an earlier Twilight Council, though. Okay. Now, this could just be for early Blink. We spoke about how small this map is, so this could just be a safe style to go for early Blink Stalker, or this could be Glaives. That's a lot of gates. Jesus. A 5-gate setup. Blink is going to be researched. I haven't seen an 8-gate 3-way Solin in a long time. I keep bringing this up. I think it's been a while since we've seen that at the pro level. Are we going for that here? The reason why I bring this up, no Forge. Like, where's the Forge? Right now there is none. Now it could still be just a delayed Forge instead. But the high gateway counts is a tell. Stays trapped into the mineral line. Oh, late reaction, late response. Not bad. Lambo gets caught out. Lambo going for the safety Roach Warren. Safety Roach Warren is going to be thrown down. And Epson moving out, and we are waiting to see a couple of things. Now, a tell of a 3-base all-in would be extra gates. Right now, he's on 5, and we're waiting to see if he goes up to 8. Likewise, gases. If he skips his gases, also would be a sign of something like an 8-gate 3-base all-in. That used to be quite popular on this map. When I say used to be, like towards the start of the year, like a couple of months ago, on Ultra Love. Like referring, I say a couple of months ago, like January, March, December. And the probe, yeah, he's going for the all-in. The probe moves out. What's the purpose of the probe? Proxy gateway. He's going for the proxy gate. There it is. 3-base all-in, add a SKillous. No gases. No gases. Mass gateway. Nothing but Stalker. No Forge. No +1 is the all-in. We spoke about how aggression is favored on Ultra Love, and SKillous is going to make full use of it. But remember, Lambo, he played safe. He went for the Roach Warren. Did go for the Roach Warren, is playing safe. Lings, oh, they catch the pylon. They get on top of the pylon. Massive pickup here. Oracles, they do come back. The Stalkers are going down. Stasis does catch out the Lings. Skillous being forced back. And Lambo, he's holding. Lambo, he's holding on. Upgrades are on the way. Skillous does get a gas geyser. More gateways are being thrown down. But Skillous, he's running out of steam already a little bit here. Lings, once again, they go for the pylon. They force back Skillous. Now, the gateway will help in a way, like it fully walls this area off. But Lings are already on the other side. And how many gates? We have 6 already. We have 3 more on the way. It's going to be, I assume it's going to be an 8-gate all-in. It's going to be a 9-gate all-in. So 3-base 9-gate all-in. Oh, I just realized that was also a fake gas geyser. As in, that was the gas geyser that was meant to be at the natural base as well. Let's go. That Skillous does push in. Does get one of the queens. Gets a queen. Nice bait there from Lambo. Baits out the stasis. And Skillous, he is in danger. He has to back up. Bleeding out a couple of Stalkers. That was 11 Stalkers going down so far. And you have to preserve the Stalker count to actually make this all-in work. As they build up over time, and then you snowball out of control. Skillous still committing in. Reinforcing with Zealots. Roaches are coming from behind as Skillous has to respond. Zealots are going to shut this down. Sorry, I should say Roach is going to be shutting down the Zealots. Ay, ay, ay. And the longer this goes on, the worse it is for Skillous. Like Lambo, I mean, his drone count is still quite low, actually. True. It's only on 55. Skillous has been probing. Now he takes real gases. Forge on the way. Templar Archives on the way. Skillous is transitioning out of this. He's trying to take towards Storm. Now, bear this in mind, though. Even though, yes, Skillous, he is probing, he is transitioning out. Unfortunately, he has 0-0 upgrades. Like, his upgrades are lackluster. His tech is lackluster. He gets surrounded. Lambo collapsing in, catching up the army. Oof. Plows to connect. And Skillous, he's trying to race back home, but he's bleeding out so much in the process. Yeah, the all-in has failed. And it's difficult to get out of this. He's on the way, like, he's working towards Storm, towards upgrades. But Lambo has a massive lead. Lambo on 170 supplies, almost 80. An insane army. And I mean, that's what happens when you commit to an all-in and when it doesn't kill your opponent, when it doesn't do enough damage. Skill's just bleeding out too much. Now, winding it back, if Lambo had gone for the same build that he went for last game and the game before that, if he was being greedy, if he skipped Roaches and he was rushing into Ling Hydra, this would have had more success. Like, 100%. Like, Skillous would have punished hard. Oof, but we get the full surround. We force a recall. So many Stalkers fall. Some of them left behind. But he got 19 Stalkers for what? 19 Stalkers for 30 Lings. The efficiency here at a Lambo, trading out minerals for gas. Preserving the Hydras, preserving the Roaches. Now moving in, Lings, they bust into the mineral line. They bust into the natural and into the main. And Lambo is going for the kill. He's going for the throats. Again, SKillous. He had his own moments in this game, in this series as well, but alas, he's going to be shut down here and now. His tournament run is going to end in the Esports World Cup EU qualifier. Oh god, 42 pro. Oh god. And GG gets called. Lambo, he will break through, he will overwhelm, and Lambo, he will claim the series 3-1, advancing on to the next round. GG. GG, well played. With that, Lambo, he will claim the series. Again, SKillous, he did commit into the 3-base, I said 8, 3-base 9-gate all-in, but unfortunately, he wasn't able to gain the momentum he was hoping for. Time and time again, Lambo, he was able to disrupt the reinforcements, able to get on top of the pylon, able to delay the overall build, and catch out key stalkers. We saw just SKillous was bleeding out so many stalkers throughout the course of that all-in. We saw that towards the end, he was trying to get out of it. He was trying to get into +1 and get into Storm and trying to saturate as well. But again, when you're committed, when you're all in like that, again, you need more damage, otherwise you fall behind. As you saw, you just get outscaled by the army of your opponent. And Lambo did snowball at control. GG. GG, well played. With that, Lambo, he will claim the series, and let's catch up with the bracket. Let's figure out what's been going on, where we are, and what is happening next. Let's go. Of course, exclamation mark be in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the bracket yourselves. Here we go. We have Gabe. Oh my god, a big Gabe. He took down the laser 3-1. Did take him down. Did advance on into face off against Showtime in the next round. And it looks like that is being covered. It looks like it is being covered by the mainstream. Meanwhile, of course, we did cover Lambo versus SKillous, and we're going to be following that into Goblin. So Lambo, he works through one Protoss, now he's up against another. Up next, Lambo versus Goblin and another ZvP. That is going to be the plan. It's going to be our plan here on the CranKy Ducklings. Let's go. Lambo versus Goblin. And again, the mainstream are going to be covering Showtime and Big Gabe. They got you covered there. When it comes to our matches, I believe the mainstream, they're going to be following into Showtime versus Hero Marine, and then eventually into Cyril versus Rainer. I don't know if the mainstream are going to be covering this series, this lower bracket semifinals. If they are, then we will most likely be covering the clean feed. We'll be casting via clean feed instead. But the stream will still be online. We'll still be online. So don't you worry, we'll still be there. Here we go. Just catching up in the chat. The professor brings it home. Ah, let's go. Really want Skills to win? Yeah, I mean, Skills, he's a really nice guy. Like, shout out to Nikita. He's a great guy, and very wholesome as well, very wholesome. Unfortunately, yeah, his run is going to end here in regards to the qualifier. But I'm pretty sure Skills is going to be a part of other events, of course. We have Home Story Cup in the future at the end of the month. We have Star Zagora coming up as well, just around the corner. So plenty more opportunities to see him, of course. But with that, GG, well played. I think we're going to be going on a short break. When we come back, we'll have Lambo and Goblin up next on the channel. See you soon. See you soon. Bye. See you soon.